Hello, my name is Ginger Haberbush, and this is going to be my presentation on parenthood and children for week 5 for the class Marriage and the Family, Sociology 323. I've made a presentation just to show, a capture of parenthood and children together. And we go to the next slide. Okay, and then this is the first question that was required for this assignment, and it was, what factors should an individual consider when they're considering to become a parent? And so within our textbook, Marriage, Families, and Relationships, which is written by Lamanna, Riedman, and Stewart in the year 2021, they address the things couples should consider before they decide on becoming parents. And Lamanna, Riedman, and Stewart explains that couples should consider the rewards and costs of parenthood, how children affect couple happiness, and whether an individual should consider if they want to be child-free. And the rewards and costs of parenthood are stated as, according to the value of children perspective, children historically were economic assets. Even when they were young, or even when very young, they provided more working hands in the fields and kitchens. Gradually, the shift from an agricultural to industrial society and the development of compulsory education transformed children from economic assets to economic liabilities at school rather than at work in the factory, needing school clothes and fees. Children no longer added financially to the family, which is stated by Lamanna, Riedman, Stewart in 2021 on page 193 within our textbook, Marriage, Families, and Relationships. Overall, the Lamanna, Riedman, and Stewart go over that the main things that individuals should address are understanding that parenthood comes with a lot of costs, but of course they also come with a lot of rewards, but that overall children are expensive, and it does change the dynamics behind a relationship for a couple. So they go over that couples should definitely evaluate the factors behind what a child brings into their lives and their relationship before they actually decide to jump into becoming a parent. And we go to the next slide, and this is the trends in parenthood. I went on to the CBU library and found a journal that was provided through the Journal of Comparative Family Studies, and this article was titled Postponed Parenthood Trends and Issues. This was written by Benjamin Schlesinger and Rachel Schlesinger in 1989, and they emphasized that the trend in individuals postponing parenthood because of the changing roles within women, higher educational attainment, the growth in women's employment opportunities, and the increasing participation in the labor force. So overall, the reason that parenthood was in this article was identified was why parenthood was postponed was because of how women's dynamics have changed, their roles. In the past, women were more likely to be housewives, to stay home and take care of the children and manage the household duties, while more likely now in the 21st century, women are more likely to be full-time workers, even full-time students, and also having to manage. If they were to have a children, they'd also have to manage that on top. So a lot of women have been postponing parenthood so they can get a better career, so they're more financially stable to support a child. And as stated within the journal, Postponed Parenthood Trends and Issues, it says Romanek points out that although there is little information on the socioeconomic status of couples who have their children later in life, they have now captured the attentions of both the researchers and popular writers. It is believed that these late first-time parents are more likely to be financially well off. So as explained, the reason behind, in this article that was identified, the reason behind why parenthood was postponed is due to the fact that individuals want to be more financially well off because children are, as studies have shown, children are very expensive, and an individual may more likely want to be more financially well off so they don't have to have the stress of finances while having a child, instead of, if they have the opportunity to delay it, they can. And we go to the next slide, and this is the advantages to parenting in the 21st century. I found a journal through the CBU library as well. It was presented through the Journal of Marriage and Family, and the journal was titled Work and Family in the Second Decade of the 21st Century. This was written by Maureen Perry Jenkins and Naomi Gerstel. This was written in 2020, and the authors construct an understanding behind the advantages of parenting in the 21st century. As was stated within the journal, research indicates that parents' perceptions of the fairness of the division of parent work matters more for work and family satisfaction than the actual division itself. For example, even when parent work is unequal, many women and men rate it as fair. Moreover, it is these perceptions of fairness, not the actual division, that predict relationship quality. And it was cited by Newkirk, Perry Jenkins, and Sayer in 2017 in Parental Depression and Relationship Outcomes. And then within the 21st century, men have been more likely to be seen to assist with childcare than in the past decades due to the research behind how women have been developing their education and career. This leads to couples working along with one another and sharing their split duties. So this journal also went over the disadvantages, which is what I'll go over in the next slide. But moreover, with right now, it has shown that the advantages of parenting in the 21st century is exactly how much it has changed. Back in the past, in the 1900s and all of 1980s and things like that, mothers were more likely to be stay-at-home moms to take care, and the men were more likely to be the breadwinners, as labeled, for the family. So they were the ones that provided the income for the family and managed all of those types of duties. Now, realistically, in the 21st century, that is changing more. The couple is more likely to be working both. So a mother would be a full-time worker, or sometimes a part-time worker, and then the father would also be a full-time worker. So the advantages into the parenting is that has changed, that the women have been more become more providers as well financially, and that has also shown that fathers have been more likely to be more on the nurturing side and have actually jumped in a little bit more onto caring for the individual and assisting with childcare than just working within the time frame. And to go to the next slide, and this is the disadvantages to parenting in the 21st century. I also use the same article or journal for this slide because it also went over it. And so presented to the Journal of Marriage and Family, the same journal is titled Work and Family in the Second Decade of the 21st Century, written by Maureen Perry Jenkins and Naomi Gerstel in 2020. The authors also developed an understanding behind the disadvantages to parenting in the 21st century. And as stated within the journal, economists suggest that millennials' high debt loads and increased financial anxiety have resulted in low fertility rates, which was cited by Mansour in 2018. Thus, research on parent work during the past decade occurred when families were becoming smaller, a trend that affects employment rates, the absolute amount of childcare, as well as how it is shared in families. And I cited it, Maureen Perry Jenkins, Naomi Gerstel in 2020, page 6. The authors explain that there's been a decline in families due to high debt loads and increasing financial anxiety that has impacted the younger generation. So overall, the article was going over how the increasing rates of the debts that people face, such as mothers that may go back to school for college, have also tacked on probably student loan debts, and how things have increased in finances. So that's also a disadvantage to parenting because things are relatively just more expensive. And we go to the next slide, and this is the 21st century of parenting, choosing later. So after reviewing a brief analysis of the peer-reviewed articles in the textbook titled Marriage, Families, and Relationships in 2021, couples are choosing to wait later to have children later in life when they're more financially well off in their career. Within the textbook Marriage, Families, and Relationships, it is stated older mothers tell researchers that they benefited by waiting to have children because they needed a period of time for personal development, not just career development for themselves and their partners. Although overall women are waiting longer to have children, childlessness has declined slightly among older women and those with postgraduate education. These women have typically reached a professional level that provides them with job flexibility, allowing them to leave work for school plays and doctor's appointments. So overall, after reviewing all of the peer-reviewed articles and our textbook the changes in parenting within the 21st century is that people are waiting to later in life to have children so they can be more financially set off, and this would allow them to have more job flexibility to be able to be in their child's life a little bit more and still be financially capable of raising them and taking care of them. And my last slide is the references for the 2 peer-reviewed articles that I used and our textbook. Thank you.